Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to a long overdue episode of Into the Nexus. I am Garrett Weinzerl, and I am joined, as always, by Kyle Ferguson and Mr. Willie Dills Gregory. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Hello.
Hi.
It's been forever.
It has been.
Wait, we still do this show?
We do.
Now, honestly, it hasn't been that long. I think the problem is that they announced an announcement and then had the preview video about the announcement, and then the announcement came out.
And then the actual announcement happened? Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. That just feels like it's been forever.
Yep.
We apparently spanned the time of Blizzard TM soon, and that feels like a long time.
Well, it's 2 weeks. There's a trip in there somewhere that I went to places and came back, and we still didn't have a show. Yeah, I guess. But you guys had a show without me.
We did.
I'm like the elevator of the ITN. I missed episode 13. I just skipped right by that one because it's bad luck. So I feel like I'm like I'm gonna be the inquisitive viewer today, as it were. I want to be asking a lot of questions of you guys because I feel lost. There's so much that happened that as I look through these notes, I go, oh man, I don't even know what that means.
Well, you know, we could just wrap it up into like a 1 minute wrap up. Talent gating is terrible. Artifacts are kind of terrible. And Rehgar is awesome, and I love the new map.
There you go.
Done. That's
what
our
a
show.
rundown.
If it was just
All
about
right, we'll
my
see you guys
opinion.
next week. We'll see you guys in 3 weeks, actually.
No. There's a lot to talk about. So, as Kyle kind of mentioned, a lot of crap happened while we were away. They had another big developer insight Q&A streamed on Twitch. I believe this was the 6th one that the Heroes of the Storm team has done. And some of the highlights from that were the new things that they're going to be trying out. I feel like a lot of this episode is going to be us talking about things that we hope they're trying out and aren't going to stay.
This all feels like they're trying it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
doesn't
throwing
feel like
stuff at the
game.
wall and seeing what sticks. It's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Which is
Ugh.
it's abnormal. Like, I haven't had this experience with a Blizzard game before. Granted, I've never been in an alpha stage for a Blizzard game before. Been in plenty of betas.
Sure, and it definitely feels like they're like, we got a big truck leaving. Let's just kind of shove some extra things we want to try on there real quick. And the numbers of alpha players we have for the very first time in a Blizzard game are just going to make this process so much easier than trying to do some sort of inter-office exchange of ideas.
No, I agree, and I'm glad they're doing this. Even if I'm not happy with a good amount of the things that were in the recent patch, I'm at least happy that they're getting the community's opinion on it as opposed to just testing it internally.
Sure. And the community is definitely spouting their opinion.
Oh, yes. The forums are on fire. Just to put it not lightly. They're burning down.
Mm-hmm. People have found, I don't know if you guys saw this on the Reddit today, but people are finding any hint that some of the stuff may be going away. And they're like latching onto that. Like, this is our only hope. It might be going away.
It's getting a little like Saint Bones-ish. Like, people are finding old pictures and being like, wait, but this says it's a future build. And the Blizzard's coming down being like, we are listening. But guys, that picture's 2 weeks old. We weren't thinking about that back then.
Mm-hmm.
So that really kind of highlights like how hot on the heels of their idea of what an artifact is to them releasing it in full. So they don't even really know what they're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to hear your guys' opinions about these who played a lot with these. I've only logged 5 games maybe over the last couple weeks, and they've been all like solo games, just me popping in real quick when I had a moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did a few of those, but they're still
they still
rough.
suck.
They're rough. They're real rough. The solo games always are. I don't like them in Dota. I don't like them in this game. So
I love them. I've been playing the crap out of it.
Kyle doesn't give a crap. He's like, let's do this.
You've always been like that though. So I mean, it's really nothing new. I think that's why we were so much more in love with the StarCraft 1v1 ladder than I was. 'Cause I was just like,
sure.
I'm sitting here alone with my thoughts, and it is very stressful. If I sneeze, I lose. Hearthstone.
There's a lot of time to sneeze in this game, though, so you're fine.
Yes, there is. But anyways, kind of the overarching ideas that the developers are talking about is they're going to be giving out more gold just for playing the game, just in general, not necessarily winning. That they want more things to unlock in the game and things to enjoy between the games.
I'm fine with that.
Which sounds great when you put it like that.
Sure.
When you see how it was implemented,
Yeah.
not so much.
Right, and that's like a fascinating sort of medium you want to have just between the two extremes. I mean, you have the WoW where you go out and you quest and you get money and you come back and you go to town, you go to the auction house. Like when you're in the middle of that game, it's really interesting how the town is. A game like XCOM where you play basically two games. You have like your setup home, I'm buying armor, and then you go out and do the missions. And that exchange is so much fun. I don't think they found it today.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either.
But also, I mean, there's so many different things to do in a game like WoW. And in this game, there's one thing really, and that's play a game on a map. Obviously, there's more than some of the other MOBAs, but you need to have more game styles if you're going to have that type of a situation in the game. But when they say that they want to have things to unlock and things to enjoy between games, that all sounds really cool. But then what they did in this iteration just feels like what's going to happen is I'm going to be turned off as a new player, similar to the MOBAs I did not enjoy. And that's basically what ended up happening.
That's I agree with you.
Yeah,
sure, but
that's what I don't want.
Yep.
We also have like the perfect comparison of a really smooth thing with happening with the Nax and Hearthstone right now. Like
totally smooth. You can't even get in there and play. But yeah, smooth.
Well, last wing, the original wing at the moment.
Sure, no, yeah.
Arachnid Quarter seemed like flawless. The Plague Quarter, not so much.
A little plagued at the moment.
I'm having no issues, but if you go look at the TAC podcast mentions, there's plenty of people having issues.
Yeah. Apparently, if you pay with real money, good to go. If you try to do it with gold, nope.
Yeah, good. Then I'm glad I'm okay. Because the real issue is that I can't win 3 games in a row right now to make the last 40 gold I need. But my point was, like, you got that very first wing boss down. You got a 1/2 spider. But how fascinating was it to go back to your decks and, like, think, okay, like, where can I squeeze this in? Something like you just unlocked green spell effects. And you might go, ooh, let me go through all my heroes and decide what I would like green.
Sure. That's what I want, is I want stuff like that.
Cosmetic stuff.
I want
things
glowy, whatever shinies, and not now you are stronger than the other guy, or you're not stronger than the other guy.
Which a little bit of the shinies is now in the game with, we're going to talk about them later, but the master skins.
Sure.
That's something
there
you
is
don't have to
some
pay
of that
for. It's
stuff,
something you
which is
unlock through gameplay, which I think is great. Anyway, let's get into it. There were some big progression and reward changes. Obviously, while we were gone, the new alpha patch came in on, what was it, 24th of July. But yeah, the big thing, there's a lot of big things, but one of them is the progression and reward changes. There's been a bunch of changes to player level. They said that the out-of-game leveling system has been reworked, and many of the progression rewards it has to offer have been reorganized. I mean, the big thing is that player level and hero level are now strictly independent of one another. The way heroes, if you're not currently in the alpha, or if you just got in this week after the alpha patch went live, the way it used to work is you would level up your account level, and at a certain level, was it 5 or 7, you unlocked the like secondary talents. I don't remember exactly what level it was. Because I did it once a long time ago and never had to worry about it again.
It happens pretty quick.
Right. You can more or less knock it out in the first day you start playing the game if you log, maybe 4 or 5 games. Yeah.
And it's 2 extra talent choices per set, right? Something like that. That's what it was.
Yeah. So that still, the account level still exists, but it has no bearing on unlocking the rest of the talents for the heroes anymore. Now each hero in the game has an independent level. You have to level up each and every hero in the game if you want access to all of that hero's talents. And I know a lot of people are like losing their shit about artifacts, but I think this is the worst thing in this patch, in my opinion. I'm not in love with artifacts, but I think this is even worse.
It's rough
because of like what you said earlier, Dills. Like, I think coming in as a new player, it's I was fine with the previous gate of, hey, get your account up to a certain level, then you can mess with the extended talents on all the heroes. I thought that was okay because it kind of felt it was the best intro experience I've ever had with a MOBA.
Sure.
You get into Kyle, you get into Dota, it's kind of horrifying a little bit.
Yeah. But that's, the model that a lot of people are asking for right now is the wall of information. Here's 108 heroes and all the items you could possibly have from. It is nice that if it was one of my teammates' first time playing heroes, I would prefer that they didn't need to read so much in between levels. to
worry about
perform
gameplay.
well.
You know, learn how to juke, learn how to not die, and learn how to use your abilities.
Now, in their favor, you are locked out of your secondary ultimate ability, heroic ability. So,
when I tried Rehgar and I got to that, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right, but it only takes one game to change it.
Yeah, I just still.
So if the idea is to make it simpler for you, that's fine. That's one thing. Maybe you have one game where you don't have all your abilities, but to have to play like a bunch of games to unlock that stuff is where I feel like it's starting to suck. And I see the like simplicity factor, but there's only a few choices. I don't know. This argument doesn't really work for me, because there's never, I don't know. It was never that complicated.
No,
the other stuff
agree.
is now adding some extra complication, but it's like crappy complication. Like I didn't feel like any of the stuff needed to be gated at all.
In the current sense of the game, and people wanted to explore and like have fun and like, oh, you're gonna grab ETC this time? Well, let me try a damage. Like that doesn't happen this week. It was, what have you played enough to have fully unlocked that you can participate with right now?
Yeah.
And that was an issue. If they want to do the sort of gating like down the road when it comes to, you know, like competitive or like a ranked play system, if you need to play like 10 games in cooperative before you can play like the ranked official play ladder, fine, like give all the gating you want. I don't want people jumping in there on their first time with Nazebo just because they wanted to give it a shot. Save that for your other style of games.
Well, okay, so I feel like they've put a little bit of the other style of games that Blizzard has already done, and they've put that thinking into a MOBA, which I don't know if it works because, you know, MOBA is basically this kind of competitive, but I'm on a team, and like that is the gameplay, and that is the one mode of gameplay, really.
Yeah.
If you're playing WoW, it's fine to have to get to level 10 before you unlock a new talent, right, or a new ability, and then have to get to level 20 and unlock the next one. That's fine because you're leveling up, whatever. But in a game like this,
It's an RPG.
I want to be able to select a different hero whenever the hell I want and be able to just play them, right?
Right.
And that's not how this style of game works. And so in Hearthstone too, I just opened a new account in EU, and I'm like, oh, I want to play a druid, but I got to get to level 10 on the druid before I have the initial set of basic cards. Still seems okay there because I can just play against the innkeeper and do all this little crap. I don't know. It just still seems fine because it's just me. In this game, it doesn't seem fine because my comp matters. I got to switch around heroes.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really work and hold water in this style of gameplay.
The other thing that really confuses me, and it's not even from a personal kind of selfish perspective, is I feel like this would deter people from buying new heroes because when it's a free-to-play week and there's a hero in the rotation who I do not own, I'll usually try him against an AI, get a feel for him, and then go into a real game, and then decide if I want to buy them. And I don't think 2 games, I'm not going to have all the talents, and I'm not going to have a good feel for the character. I've played quite a few games with Rehgar this week, and I still don't have his secondary talents.
Yeah.
I'm really liking him, but I'd really like to know how he works with a healing totem or whatever the other totem he can have at level 1 is.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You want to be able to try him out, like try before you buy. And here you're gonna feel like you don't even know if this character is good or not because you haven't been able to try all the.
Which I'm aware there's the test map if you go into store, but it's not the same.
No, it's that is yeah.
It's not even
unless
close.
they can give you. Dota has a pretty good single player experience where you actually push a single lane and it's fairly good.
But you can play all of their heroes no matter what. Also.
Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, but and then there's the entire games and stuff like that, and this doesn't quite work the same way. So I don't know. I'm not happy with the current situation.
Yep.
Right,
Kyle, you get a crown, by the way, for at least attempting to play devil's advocate on this. Because
sure.
I was like, I think I'm gonna have to try and do it on this episode, but I don't think I can.
But I understand it. Like I'm thinking of this as the StarCraft team. And like, would they try in, Heart of the Swarm, like a couple unlockables that you were done with in maybe a week? Like, I see why, like, in their heads, they're like, we have to make this work. And finally, with this kind of style of game, we can do it. But I just want to look awesome. And I want my friend who I go, have you heard of this game? He says, no. I say, install it. He says, okay. And we play. Like, there's no issues. I can give him a piece of paper with a list of talents to get if he wants. But I feel like a lot of this is something we can handle by ourselves as gamers. We don't need that sort of restriction going into
No,
it.
I fully agree with that. Yeah, I want people to come in and feel powerful from the get-go, and that is not the feeling you have right now.
No.
Right,
And even we've been playing for a while, but I haven't been playing as much, and I feel way behind, and I don't like that feeling at all. Because this is a MOBA. I'm supposed to be able to just pop in there and grab a dude
I don't
and go.
necessarily think when the game actually is no longer alpha, no longer beta, and out proper, that we're going to have changes this drastic. I mean, I think you and I both feel behind somewhat, just because this was such sweeping changes. We also have a new battleground, which we've been playing for a while, and it's been the same 3 battlegrounds since we started. So it's a lot to take in, and I don't think people are going to necessarily have to worry about that once this is a live game. But
and gold's coming at different. I mean, this is a lot of changes. People in general hate change, so it's understandable for people to just yell about it for no particular reason. But this is a heavy sweeping thing, and unlocking things that takes time, takes investment. I'm a little happy if the players I'm with know their characters. What you can't have is this idea in the background that I am less powerful no matter what I do than the other characters in this game, and that gets into artifacts.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We could talk about master skins, but I think all there is to say about it is they look great.
They're
cool.
Bring it on. They cost 10,000 gold after level 10. Whatever. I'm fine with that. Gold sync.
Appropriate gold sync. Yeah. If you want to look badass and you've played enough to unlock it, buy it.
Yeah. Don't make me pay actual money for it. I'm all for that. So let's talk about artifacts, the other subject of much discussion. Since
this is the sticking point with almost everybody.
Yeah. So if you're not in, you haven't played with them, if you're not aware, they've been added to the game, and you have, on a hero, 3 unlockable artifact slots. You start with the first slot unlocked. Artifacts cost gold, and the artifact itself starts at level 1.
Yeah, it's level 1 to 10, so you can make it more.
And it costs
stronger as time goes by.
Increasingly more gold each time, up to a pretty hefty amount towards the end. It says here, obviously, I think all of us are quite past the early stages on our account level, so we didn't get to the point where you actually had to unlock artifacts. It was already unlocked for, I think, all 3 of us. But you do have to reach level 15 to unlock the ability to even purchase artifacts and artifact slots using gold. So, it's kind of hard to break this down without going point for point.
Oh, we might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure most people have who really care have read this stuff. Maybe there's people who just tune into the show and expect to get the info here, so we might as well go for it.
Yeah. So they said that in order to use artifacts in game, they must first be equipped using artifact slots. So you get your first slot at level 15. You have to buy the other 2, which can be found just left of the ready button. There's 3 types of artifacts. There's a gem, a relic, and a trinket. A gem slot is the one you get automatically. That's your automatically open free slot, but you still have to buy a gem. And then the relic and trinket slots can be purchased in any order directly from the hero select screen. It's 2,000 gold per slot. So an extra 4,000 gold to get all 3 slots unlocked.
Yes.
So
then you got to buy the stuff to put in the slot.
Yes. Now the artifacts that you buy, while I was in the middle of a game today complaining about them, Kyle goes, "You can move them between characters." And I was like, "Okay, that's less terrible." That's not.
But that's another thing to do, though, right? Well, it's just too many things to do.
Well, no, I think if you own it, it's just there. I don't think you have to actually unequip it on Rehgar and then equip it on Arthas.
But every time I play a dude, I gotta select some stuff.
No.
It saves.
You set it up once. Every single character is blank. You own the gems or trinkets that you were putting in a pool, much like the Hearthstone cards.
Yes.
So if they're being used by a deck, it doesn't matter. You can use them in anything. But you just have them, and every character has their own sort of save file for what you've put in there. Once you got your ideal setup, you're good to go over and over again.
Yeah, you don't have to re-equip it every game, and there hasn't been any kind of... I haven't noticed any kind of bug where it unequips them like it has been doing with my mounts.
But you can select, what I was saying, you can select different sets for different heroes, right? So,
and it just
switch
saves.
to a guy I've never selected slots for this guy, I got to select some slots for this guy.
Yes. And I do believe...
That's what I'm saying. It's just more stuff to do.
Right.
It's just more things to do before I just jump in and play a game.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you can have, obviously, 3 artifacts, but it's one of each, a gem, a relic, and a trinket. You can have 3 gems. You can have 3 relics. So that's kind of important.
Right, and each one of these kind of has a theme to it. Like, the first one is kind of where all, the damage is or your health. You can't have increased attack speed and then have your second artifact be increased damage. Those are all on one gem. And then the next gem has a different set of increased mana by this percent, increased generation by this percent of health or mana, you know?
Right. And they're all, at least when you first get them, really minor. But if you max them out, it's a noticeable amount. I mean, I've been messing around with the mana regen. I've definitely noticed that my mana regen is faster, which is great. I love faster mana regen. But what about the new dude who just came into the game and I'm kicking his ass, even if he's playing better than me? I don't know.
Right, and 10% more attack speed, 10% more damage, 15% more healing. Like, these get a little crazy, but the thing that kind of breaks my mind is, like, 15% more health, 40% bigger mana pool. Like, these things feel extremely different. Two Tacitors going against each other. One has mana regen, one doesn't. Like, one's clearly going to win here. And these are all decided outside of the game, which, as a Dota player, like, this is where I have my real problem. Everything else, gold sync, you want to be unique. I understand all this. But the fact that a Vala, for instance, really heavy damage, fast attacker, can equip a lifesteal attack or something else completely different. Like, I need to know that. As a Dota player, I see, a Faceless Void running towards me. It matters to me if he has a death mask.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I wasn't able to tell. How is it obvious at all? Is there a way to know? In like the tab screen, there's no indicator at all.
Absolutely no indicator.
Like, I didn't even spend any time really looking for it, but I assume that I'd be able to know at least.
And even if it was in the tab screen, that's a terrible place to put that kind of information. I need to see this stuff in a battle. I need to be able to click on. I want to just be able to click on them and see what the hell they have.
Right.
Or just have them have some sort of an aura that indicates it or something.
There's
I don't know.
too many.
Yeah.
There's too many things. There's not enough color combinations in this that our eyes can perceive.
Yeah.
This is alpha. I'm sure we're not at the end of how this game is going to function. Blizzard in the StarCraft team does believe that there is a complexity to being able to let you, select everything. It's an auto feature they added in Heart of the Swarm where, if you're just getting into the game, you cannot select enemy units because they want you to just control your own units and focus on that. So maybe with time, they're going to work in a way for us to see and click on the dude who just killed you and see what happened and maybe what trinkets he had over you. But for now, you're left in the dark.
Yeah. Oh, I missed this entirely. They were dishing out a bunch of gold so that you could try out artifacts. That's why I have so much gold.
Yeah, so I was level 40, so I got 75,000 gold.
Yeah, you got a lot of gold,
Yeah,
so you can really go for it.
I'm Scrooge McDuck in Heroes Gold right now. I'm just diving in.
But I mean, you got to buy 3 of these. It's 2,000, so you got 4,000 right there, just opening up all the slots. You got 5,000 per maxing out gem. So what? You're up to 19,000 then. Like, I just lost gold immediately the second this came out.
Yeah, I did too, but I bought Rehgar first, and then I started screwing around with this stuff.
So Kyle, then are you maxed out on all 3? You got level 10s of each?
I got the ones I want, like the caster kind of heroes I like to play. But for instance, like, I was really kind of getting itchy to like really mess someone up this week, so I wanted to get Nova. But then I looked, 10,000 gold, and then I'd have to play for a while to unlock the talents, and I don't have basic attack damage gem.
Yeah, you don't have the gems you would want on Nova.
Right, I don't have lifesteal.
Yeah. It makes you end up feeling locked into one style of character because you've spent a bunch of gold already on that, and all right.
So to get into Nova, I'm looking at like 25,000 gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just like a mountain that I'd prefer not to climb, and I'll just choose not to do it. Is what will end up happening.
In a faint attempt at playing devil's advocate here, do you think we were just spoiled because we're all so used to playing with each other and friends, and we're so used to just being like, I feel like playing an assassin, and then everyone else is like, okay, we'll warp around that, or Dills is like, I don't feel like playing Nova anymore, I'll play Gazlo. Are we spoiled, or is this as terrible as I feel it is?
Well, are we spoiled, or is that just really fun to be able to do that?
I think it's really fun.
I know you're just doing it for like the sake of the conversation, but this kind of game is about fun and throwdowns. There's nothing physical and actual, like, tangible that I need to carry to one game to the next. The reason I'm level 40, I'm max level, it's fun. Like, I know that's going away. I know everything I put into this game is gone forever when alpha's over. But I'm having fun.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. And it's because the game's really accessible, too. I don't feel like I'm gated well, all right, it's the game. Let's get in there and play. It's the same reason I played the crap out of the Hearthstone beta. I was like, I lose the cards, but I get my gold back. I don't care. I just want to play the game.
Well, and like, you can complain and people can throw fits and whatever. That's in a whole nother box. But when I see someone like Jocelyn tweet, oh, I was going to play that game, now it seems too complex, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. Although, Jocelyn, come on.
It's going to turn people away that would have otherwise been here. So that's not really the approach you want to take, I think, especially when you're trying to take over. You're trying to make the MOBA that gets all the people. So let the people in.
Yep.
Let freedom ring.
Artifacts caused some changes to talents as well. Minion Killer, Path of the Assassin, Path of the Warrior, and of the Wizard have all been removed as a result of artifacts being added to the game. Because there's different artifacts that do very similar things to these 4 generic talents. They said that the new generic talents have been added to replace holes created by the talent removals listed above, including the following. Seasoned Marksman, which grants 1 basic attacks damage permanently for every 5 minions killed. It stacks. Only minions damaged by basic attacks within moments of their death will count towards this bonus. So kind of a last hit thing going on there.
It's a last hit all of a sudden.
It's like a soft last hit.
Yeah, Diablo has the exact same thing. As long as he was hitting it while it died or swinging around, you're fine. You still get the soul.
Yeah, you don't need to,
you don't need to stutter hip where you're doing like
animation cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with. I love me some Dota, man, but last hitting, something about it. New talent at level 1, Conjurer's Pursuit. You gather 3 regeneration globes to permanently gain 0.25 mana regeneration. It stacks indefinitely. Scouting Drone, another level 1. It places a flying drone at the target location, which reveals a large area and any cloaked heroes around it for 60 seconds. The drone can be seen and it can be destroyed. I love this. Coming from StarCraft, man.
This is great.
It's like, why don't you just call it an observer and give it the observer model?
Because it's seeable. Like, once you find it in a bush, it's gone. But it's real cool. It's on Abathur.
Yeah, I have yet to play a hero who has this, and I'm really stoked to do it because... Kyle, going back to StarCast days, map vision is key.
Yeah.
Need that map vision.
Need it.
I would like to see this kind of thing be available for everybody. I know it doesn't make sense for all heroes to have, but I would like this to, because in Dota and stuff, you just buy them, right, from the store, the thing that does this.
Wards, yeah.
And here, I think just designate somebody on the team to be the guy who does this. And I would like that better than certain heroes being able to do it. But this is the start. I like it.
I really get excited when I jump from hero to hero and see how drastically they can change. Like, even before this patch, you could jump from every warrior, and not every single one had Path of the Warrior, and that just kind of made me feel like this game was worth investing in. There wasn't any shortcuts taken. So
sure, yeah. I'm on board. I just think something like this is just cool to be able to let anybody do, because it is something that's like a player is good at something like this, not necessarily a hero, So
right, and it even seems odd on Abathur because he has the mines, which you can kind of set up as viewer points. With Rehgar, you can throw his totem in a bush and see around the bush. So there's some really cool ways to get around, like creep too. You can use that for sight. So there's ways to get around it. It's a cool ability. I'm glad they added it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the final new talent is a level 4 talent called Gathering Power. It passively grants plus 8% ability power. Each hero takedown grants an additional 2% ability power up to a maximum of 12%. This bonus is lost upon death.
What is ability power?
Anything that's not a basic attack.
Okay, so it just improves the damage of your damage or the healing of your healing or whatever.
Yeah, and anything you do any spell you cast that is not it's not a basic attack, which you don't cast, it just happens.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's so many things in this game that affect basic attacks.
Sure.
This talent, I'm kind of down with this. I like this because you give some love to the abilities, man. Give some love.
Yeah. Well, and we have some wizards that we're still waiting to see. Like Jaina hasn't come out yet, and I want her to be rocking, and I don't want to be a basic attack and nothing.
No, but Jaina should not be basic attack and crap. No.
Unless you make her basic attack look really awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Like she's throwing fire blast from her hand or something.
It worked. Yeah, the one damage fire.
I don't want to be back to mages with wanding stuff where I'm just like, just stand here and wand for a little while because I'm out of mana.
Oh,
I
man,
never want that back.
I had all 5 points in that baby. That was leveling stuff.
That was like my least favorite thing of playing. I remember when I leveled up, one of the first tunes besides the hunter I leveled up in WoW was a freeze mage, and my favorite thing ever was freezing everything and then blizzard, gather everything up in a big circle and just grinding with just killing 60 things at a time with my blizzards as they slowly came towards me. That's what I want to do when I'm on. I never want to be wanding stuff. I never want it. It's so boring. There's like wand, blank, wand, blank, wand, blank. Terrible.
Nice. There were a bunch of hero changes as well. Kyle, as usual, you've kind of just, for time's sake, broken it up into who got buffed, who got nerfed. And we actually had a couple overhauls.
Yeah, Murky is, of course, the most interesting one. Murky is now supposed to be in team fights and no longer has these sort of suicidal abilities against towers. So, and range reduction on his pufferfish. So now, if he's puffing the thing, he needs some creeps around, otherwise he's going to get hit. His pufferfish is going to get hit. And never is he allowed to, dive in anymore and die and leave a pufferfish. That ability is out. There's some cool new, range ones, increasing the size of the explosion to kind of, participate in those group fights or deal better poison damage. But the solo Murky in a lane all by himself pushing to win, it's over.
All right. I'm down.
Gotcha. I'm really freaking, and try not to cuss, excited about this one little Brightwing change. I can now port to people using the mini-map.
Oh,
yes.
My God.
But
epic.
But you can no longer cancel the port once it's started, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. Because if you're going to invest...
I'm so excited about the mini-map, I'll allow it. I'm going to just ignore that that's a thing and just sit here with my happy pants on.
Sure, but in that 3 seconds, you're kind of sitting there teleporting. Things could go horribly wrong where you're about to show up, and I like that. It's a good exchange. They still haven't added a burrow for Abathur. Granted, that's who I've been playing the most if I keep talking about him. But I can't use the mini-map to, burrow across the map yet. Got to go look at stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is going to reward, more coordination with the team, though. Because they're going to be like, yo, Dill's important on top of you. Get somewhere safe.
Yeah, is it cool? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Or just be like, hey, don't go too deep. I'm coming.
Sure.
Just so you know, to play a little cautiously, but maybe not completely let them know that, hey, Brightwing's on the way. Oh, man, I don't care, man. Brightwing is still one of my favorite heroes.
Yeah, Brightwing is pretty sweet. The Gazlo change is so weird. I don't understand why this needed to change. Like minion killer that had to go. That was OP. It didn't feel OP.
Everyone lost it though. Bride is gone.
Yeah, that's true because everybody lost minion killer because of the. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, now I remember.
It's gone.
But I remember I saw that and I was
everybody.
like, yeah, but that's how it killed its stuff.
That's how I kill the stuff with the thing.
Yeah.
They also gave Nazeebo Witch Doctor the mercenary lord that Gazlo has, so no longer is Gazlo the only one pumping up mercs he can get.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Although that's not really something that I use, but whatever.
It's powerful.
I think it's okay.
And I wanted to see that love spread around a bit. Gazlo, maybe he's paying him off or something. They are mercenaries and he's the goblin, but other people can have that ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'm kind of down. I'm happy with some of the changes to Rhonda. I'm not happy with others. She's been she's overhauled, but not really. She doesn't have brand new abilities, just severely tweaked a lot of her abilities.
Right. She was definitely having some issues after the Illidan joined mark change that they made, where they wanted to get her hunter's mark, less about focus and more about you actively casting it. And they've also messed with Shadow Stalk a lot, which is good. It reveals all enemies as well as cloaking your allies. A big deal if everyone's running around in somewhere like the Tributes map.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
And you need that too, cloaking all the enemies, getting out in this game in such a short game where, the real meat and potatoes of the throwdowns are in the, in the 15-minute mark. And people are coming back in 45 seconds. Gaining cloak and getting everyone out of there wasn't as big a deal as murdering the entire other team with a nice starfall.
I'm thinking about this for offensive. if Tree comes up, you can just cloak the whole team and go find them and murder them.
Right, and no one can juke. Like, you see everybody.
Oh man, I like that a lot. I don't like that her healing bonuses don't affect her. She no longer gets the speed bonus if she has quickening blessing if she casts it on herself, and she no longer gets the cloak if she casts it on herself.
Yeah. I'm not sure of why the change there. Maybe to enforce her being by herself, and if they were going to up the hunter's mark, they didn't want these runaway Tyrandas like going out, I'm the new Slayer, and having at it.
I guess it's a good point. Like when you look at someone like Arthas, the only way he can get away is with really good use of his Howling Blast, and now really the only way Tyranda's going to be able to get away is by landing a Lunar Flare to stun whoever's pursuing her.
And you stop someone like Arthas from becoming a support because he can't target his death coil on anyone else. So those restrictions help make the classes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I guess I can't argue with a lot of this.
Well, you can't argue with Lunar Flare. If you hit, you get your mana back.
I'm so happy about that. But you don't get multiple mana back if you hit multiple heroes. It only happens once per shot.
Oh, that would be sick, though.
That would be so disgusting. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, if you hit 3 people and then you just suddenly have full mana.
You know what? If you hit 3 people with that, you deserve it.
Sure, yeah,
that's
not easy to do. But some people would get ungodly good at that.
Yes,
and
yeah,
that would be way too good at the game.
That's how Tassadar's new storm works. The more people you hit with it, the more mana you get back. I love it.
Bring it
That's
on.
crazy.
Cool. All right, those are the ones I wanted to talk about. Was there anyone else you wanted to? Anyone else that was kind of piquing your interest there, Kyle?
I love the Diablo change. They added a talent where you can make the flames return to you. So after going out, this is already in the game, but it did the same damage. Now it comes back to you with 150% more damage. So you can actually kind of like shoot out the flames, mount up, ride past the person, and all those flames chasing you come riding right through the guy.
Do you mount up fast enough to do that?
Yeah, if you get the first talent that extends the waves, you out, mount up, it's coming, and a little bit of runtime.
So you become a raid boss. Like,
wow,
that's wonderful.
Don't stand in my poop.
But see, stuff like that is cool because that's hard to pull off. You know, that's a skilled move, and if you can do that, then hell yeah, it should be awesome.
God,
so
that's great.
And it's a perfect tool for a warrior because you're diving in deeper, or you're kind of leading the, I guess, behind the escape. Whatever, you're in the back or in the front, either way. And it's a cool sort of mechanic for you to give damage to the team while still being the prime target.
Gills, what was that? I think it was the second boss in Mogushan Vaults. They placed fire everywhere, and then he would suck it all in, and you had to make sure everyone was putting the fire in the same place.
Oh, that awful troll dude?
No. He was a Mogu.
I know who you're talking about, but if you listen to the instance, you know that I'm the worst with names.
It doesn't matter. That was the only thing that matters. He places fire and then he sucks it in towards him at one point. I was just going to say, imagine how terrible it would be if he could just move and have it follow him wherever the hell he wanted it to go.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
It'd be wonderful. So let's talk about the new hero Rehgar for a moment. He was added in this recent patch as well. I like this guy. I like him a lot. He is
you just like shamans in general, don't you?
I have never
just a shaman kind of guy.
Never enjoyed them in WoW.
Really?
I've never had one past level 20.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you play him all the time in Hearthstone, and yeah, this guy is kind of like he's the quintessential shaman right now.
Yeah,
in the game.
He's
really got all the stuff.
He's got chain heal. He's got lightning shield, which isn't actually a shield unless you spec a shield into it, which I think is kind of dumb.
Yeah,
he has earth mining totem, which they only gave him one totem default. That's the one I would want. I love it. Freaking slows nearby enemies. It's great. I love riding past
really
people
the good one.
And just throwing it in the ground when I know shit's about to hit the fan and being like, have fun escaping. And then
when I heard this guy was support, I was a little excited because I'm thinking all totems all the time. Maybe an alt where you're dropping an elemental totem. I remember reading, what's the Game Informer when World of Warcraft was first coming out, and they're like, shamans can drop auto-attacking totems, and I'm imagining shakoosh, just huge fireballs. And then I finally play the thing. And
searing totems.
Yeah, little peas.
Oh, totems are in WoW. They're so sad looking. I think that's part of the reason I never played one.
I think it's that sort of disappointing little shake they give, A little slack.
I kind of wanted this guy to have a selection of 4 totems or something when you get to a certain level.
Well, level 1 you can choose.
Yeah.
There's the secondary talents that I don't have access to because of artificial talent
You need to play some more games.
Yeah. Well, I still want to play Arthas and guys who are high enough level.
Sorry, you need to spend your time playing Rehgar, Garrett, if you want to play all the talents.
But he can healing totem, and he can get another totem that I can't remember off the top of my head, and of course it is not on
the healing
official
totem,
site.
the one that's across
no,
all heroes?
No, there's a healing totem, and then there's another one, I think.
Oh.
But there, of course, why would you have this on your site, Blizzard? Why would you have good information?
Oh, that seems ridiculous.
Yeah. But the other thing I really love about him is his trait, which is Ghost Wolf. He doesn't have a mount. He turns into a Ghost Wolf. It is an instant cast. You can cast it while moving. You move slightly slower than anyone else on a mount. You have 30% movement speed.
Yeah, but it's instant.
It's instant. It's so good. Yeah. And when you're in Ghost Wolf form, your first basic attack does 100% more damage. It cancels Ghost Wolf form. But still, I can't tell you how many people I chased down this week who had just like one little tick left. And just ran up in wolf form.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'll go get him.
Bit him in the ass and killed him. It was great. I'm loving this hero. And his heroic ability, which is Bloodlust, and his second one, which I have yet to take, partially because when I first played him, I couldn't choose it, and secondly because Bloodlust is awesome. He has Ancestral...
Why wouldn't you want Bloodlust if you could have Bloodlust, right?
Yeah, he has Ancestral Healing, which here it says significantly heals an allied hero, but in-game it says it fully heals an allied hero.
See, yeah. I mean, I'd assume when it says significantly that it should be at least really close to fully healed. So, and also if it's an ult, that should be a full heal on one guy. Yeah. What's the cooldown on that, by the way?
I believe it's 50 seconds. I'm trying to look it up right now.
No, it's a full 60, and they actually
60, okay.
They changed that right before release, so the text in-game is wrong. It's a heal of 600, but that's also, it goes up by level. So it's a big heal, but you only get it once every minute.
That seems like I would never take that. That just seems not enough. Just getting all of my allies stirred up into a frenzy, yes, I would like that instead.
Well, and here's the thing, 40% increase attack speed, and then you've got damage dealers with the health gem on them. They just instantly explode for a big heal themselves with that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Bloodlust is one of the coolest. You can't have a shaman character without having it. It's just... I'm glad they didn't name it Heroism, by the way.
Well, he's not an alliance shaman.
Yeah, he's a horde, exactly.
He's clearly horde.
It is interesting, though,
happening later on.
In the pictures people have been digging up this week of, older releases of the game, there was a female witch doctor standing in place. Right now, the witch doctor model, clearly not the final one, but it is kind of exciting that we could have male and female versions. We've seen a male version of the barbarian as well. What if you had a Alliance Paladin who just had all the same abilities, but he was just a different skin?
You mean shaman? Because we have an Alliance Paladin.
Oh, right, yes.
We do, yeah. Luther. Yeah.
Push his glasses up. I believe there is an Alliance shaman.
Well, see, that was the vanilla WoW Kyle coming out, where
exactly
Alliance had paladins and Horde had shaman. Yeah.
1-to-1.
They are the same.
So you're saying Uther should have a variant where it's some kind of blood elf, blood knight?
There you go.
Awesome.
That'd be sweet.
Bring it on, man.
Just as long as it doesn't do that little spinny jump. I don't like that spinny jump that blood elves do.
I have a
Let's avoid that forever.
I have a confession to make. I started playing Horde because of Blood Elf Paladins.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they are cool in every other respect. It's just the spinny jump.
I was always an elf fan when it came to fantasy.
Honestly, I picked a gnome because I'm a tall guy and I wanted a new perspective in a video game.
Hey, you can fit into the fireplaces and inns, and others can't.
So many places to dance. Why wouldn't you?
I hate gnomes so much. I hate them. They're terrible. No offense to those of you who play gnomes. Some of my best friends are gnomes. It's cool. It's fine. And the last big thing that was added in this patch was, of course, the new battleground, the Garden of Terror. I'm still recovering.
That was very terrifying.
Yeah. It's a 3-lane battleground. It is not nearly as Plants vs. Zombies themed as I thought it was going to be. But I'm okay with that. It's fine. So here it says after 90 seconds, night will fall and horrors will rise in the garden. Basically,
Whoa.
golems.
That almost got Christopher Walken-y. I liked it.
After 90 seconds, night will fall, and horrors will rise in the garden. You're doing it all wrong.
I didn't know you had a walk in there. Karen.
Pretty good.
Pretty sweet.
Impressed.
Lots of family from Jersey. Anyways, yeah, basically when night falls, 2 big golems spawn in north and south locations, and then you have little plant minions around, almost like the pirates on Blackheart's Bay. And all of them drop seeds when you kill them. And the whole point is to collect 100 seeds, and then you can decide when you want to go cash these suckers in and become the Garden Terror, which is this giant plant monster, or for my Dresden fans out there, a chlorofiend. But someone out there
or
will
Litter
get that.
Shop of Horrors. It's very reminiscent of many things.
Yeah, feed me, Seymour. But I really like this map, and you can actually collect more than 100 seeds, but it doesn't matter. You don't get a stronger Garden Terror. It's just a flat stat on the Garden Terror no matter what. Obviously, it gets stronger as the game goes on. But say you collect like 168 seeds, if you go and turn in, it just consumes 100, and you still have 68, so you have less to collect during the next night cycle. So, I don't know, Kyle. What do you think so far of this Battleground? Because honestly, I'm really digging it.
Well, when we played it together, and you only played it once. So the one time you played it, you won.
I love it.
You're digging it.
Yeah, you're like, it's so good. I'm 100% win rate in there.
It's a lot of fun. It is a journey through the other maps, though. It's kind of a collage of them. At first, it's enter the mines. At night, suddenly the land is the mines. Kill the things. And then once you have enough skulls, or in this case, your plant tokens, you turn them, and then you become the Dragon Knight, and you basically do Dragon Knight-y things.
Yeah, but you know what Battleground it doesn't pull from is Blackheart's Bay, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't like that Battleground at all.
I love the arena throwdown there. It can be very unique, and I'd like for it to stay unique. I'd like to have it maybe happen once a night amongst the 6 games I play. So that'll be a good spot.
I like it for 5 minutes. When it drags on for a 30-minute game, and that's the only thing I'm doing is trying to keep people off of the turn, and it's just boring.
I am a little disappointed, though. I expressed my hopes for this map to be a little more defend your base, and the Night Terrors more just kind of stand around, just like the skeletons in the mines. They wait for you to come kill them.
That's a good point. Yeah. They just kind of hang out. But I don't know. I like it. I like that you each have your own turn-ins in your base. You don't have to fight over it. And also, since the turn-in is in your base, the terror always spawns on the far side of the map no matter what, which I think is also cool. So you can see when it happens. You see the big red golem skull on the map. You're like, oh, shit, here it comes. And it's really interesting. And it kind of gives your team, if you're the one spawning the terror, I think like good notice to kind of do a cavalry charge with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It had a really good natural flow. I felt on the.
Well, and it has a longer time. It's not quite as strong as the dragon, but if everyone's dead and you grab it, you'll still be going when everyone else gets back up.
Yeah.
It's a bit more team oriented.
Plus, with what is it? Is this the Spore Queen's Curse? You can disable. Oh no, sorry, Plant Horror Overgrowth. You this is disable enemy structures. So yeah, if a couple of the enemy heroes are dead, you can really do work on taking out towns.
Yeah.
Can you have? I still haven't played this one yet, but can you have one on each team at the same time?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can have
They can go against each other.
They can go against each other.
Friggin' sweet.
It's like watching Plant Gundams duke it out.
Oh
It's
my
wonderful.
god, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's cool. It's a cool map.
Yes, you can say, oh, they just got one. Well, I got 100. I'll go get one too. And then
It's like King Kong versus the T-Rex. Let's do this.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah. I really like the map. It's good. It took me way too long to get this damn map. I went through like 4 Blackheart's Bays and a bunch of the other battlegrounds before I got it.
All you want is to play one game on this map.
Just like,
right?
come on, Garden of Terror, please. But yeah, had a good time. Kyle, well, you played one game, Garden, and you won, so of course you're gonna like.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of opinions, particularly in my house. Like Kristen will come to me like, "Man, I'm having a great day. Like I really love tributes," and then the next day I'll be like, "Flip the table, tributes."
No, man, I've just consistently hated Blackheart's Bay and have been more or less happy with the others. There was a stint where I was not enjoying the mines, a lot of mines, but once I started playing Zagara and Arthas, I'm like, well, I can just solo the mines, so I like the mines now. So
I'm fine with all of them. I'm fine with Blackheart's Bay. There's a lot going on, so I'm cool with it.
I would say tributes is my least favorite, but I'm an Avatar player. Like, there's no calculated place to put your mines. They could spawn anywhere, and you waste
That's
your
true.
time half. Whereas Blackheart's Bay, like, there is one place everyone goes all game, and you destroy people.
Good point. Good point. Fair enough.
So someday when you can pick heroes per map, it's going to be a real interesting situation.
Yeah. So for kind of our deep dive, like strategy talk this week, Kyle, you posed the question, let's pretend they're here forever. And let's discuss artifacts.
Right, because I don't think we're going to get out of this without something lingering. They really want either the gold sync, or a lot of players are begging for this customized thing. What we haven't said is, I mean, this is the glyph system straight from League of Legends.
Yeah, pretty much.
In that game, you play a lot, you get these glyphs, you therefore are better than other people participating.
So if they are here forever, here's what I would be okay with, is instead of having a bunch of levels for each of them, so you progressively get stronger as, you know, the more money you spend, the more time you spend in the game, I would like to maybe just have them be a way to take each hero in a different direction. And the sync is not the thing here. It's not just a way to build up and be stronger than the other guy. It's just a way to be a different Gazlo than the other Gazlo, or a different Nova than the other Nova, or whatever. I would be fine with that. I'm not really okay with having different levels of me being really, me being better than you or you being better than me, and having to earn those before I can feel like I can play the game competitively. That's what I don't like.
I agree, and we're not in like a Skyrim situation where every single hero is great at everything. They have classes, they have assassin, they have warrior. You are going to grab gems and relics that make a warrior more warrior-y, and if you get a whole bunch of damage abilities, you're probably doing it wrong. Because your basic attack damage, or the percent you're increasing it, just isn't worth it.
But if I could say that I'm a tanky barbarian, or I'm a damage-dealing barbarian, and I can decide that through these artifacts, that's okay. As long as both of those types of barbarian are viable, and that would be okay with me. But me being like, no, I'm just in general, I'm a better barbarian than you because I've got 3 maxed out artifacts in all the slots.
I think for me, I mean, we need to move on and just talk about how to play with these. But I think for me, it's the fact that I can have them and someone else can't, or vice versa.
Right, and like I said, for me, it's the lack of visuals. If Barbarian had spikes on her shoulders when she got the damage rune on, like, bring it on, because that's a visual cue. I know what I'm dealing with when that's charging towards me.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
So your gem slot, that's the one you get first. Probably the one that jumps out the most is at rank 10. The Bold Amethyst gives you 15% more health.
Yeah, that's noticeable.
It's quantifiable. It's very big on someone like Diablo. Jeez, you're sitting on like 8,000 health. You just jump up more.
Yeah. The Brilliant Topaz, which is the next one, which is the damage increasing one, you at rank 10, it's a maximum of 10% more damage. Can you imagine? Is Kristen running this on...
No, she runs... that's ability damage, so she runs basic attack damage.
Oh, okay.
Because on Vala, it's
that's the Primal Ruby, which is the same.
Yeah, if you're doing Volley, you would choose the basic attack. If you're doing, say, Nova, you might take the Brilliant Topaz, right?
That's a good point.
Get the big triple taps going.
That's the other thing where I'm just like, really? Like, even between damage dealers, I can't have a nice synergy between stuff I already own?
Nope, you're going to have both in case you switch.
Like the Grand Shields is really exciting. I haven't experimented with it much. It's a lot like Shields in other games where it's a different number. So I saw a Gazlo with it running around. He had very low health, but he managed to stay out of the fight for 5 seconds, got 10% of his health back instantly.
Oh, what is this?
This is the Nexus Sapphire. Gives a 10% shield of maximum health that regenerates after 8 seconds.
I thought it was called Grant's Shield. I'm like scrolling through, I'm like, what the hell is the Grant Shield? What are you talking about? Okay, so the Nexus Sapphire. All right. Gotcha. That's, yeah. See, there are some cool ideas in here, but I don't know. I'd almost rather see this just introduced at a talent level. I don't know what the answer to this is.
Well, let's
Yeah,
go.
sure. Talents. Fine.
Let's jump down
Or
to-
just have you can buy this one and everybody gets 5% or something. Bang. Don't rank it up to 10%. I don't know. I don't like that.
I'm not sure. You want to talk about? You want to move on to relics, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, relics are, again, these are like your regen base. You have Alex Straza's scale, increases your health regen up to a maximum of 1% a second. It's a big deal, but it's not so extreme, and it's health regen, so sure, it's in combat. It's not like shields. If you're taking damage, this is still constantly going, but it's not quite as extreme as something like 15% more health. This seems like the vein that they want to do it in. 1% or 1 mana, just 1 mana at rank 10 per second regenerates with the coin.
Huh. Okay. I love that it's called the coin, by the way.
That's weird.
Sure. Or the
But
World
okay,
Stone Shard.
but here's another thing that too is that your Alex Straza scale will scale better if you have the bold amethyst as well, right? Because you already have more health, so you're actually getting
So your regeneration is faster because
you're
1%
getting more
is more health.
per second as well.
Yeah.
So you're double dipping.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Now,
so people who gem and relic and trinket wrong are gonna suck. And it's just because they are not doing this right, and that's not gonna feel good.
Let's go ahead and go to the last slot, the trinket slot, because I feel like this is where we have sort of the real vision of what it could be and how it could work. So something like Goblin Jumper Cables. Death timer decreased by 20% at rank 10. At first you're like,
Damn.
well, that dude's coming back faster. Well, he had to die in the first place, so maybe that's not good. Maybe it's a trick. Do I really want my gem in that? Like, this is kind of an interesting question.
Yeah. So if you're a good player, this actually becomes less valuable, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is incredibly valuable on a bad player.
Yeah. So then you're like, well, maybe I just want more mana with my Kydarian Amulet. Rest in peace in StarCraft, by the way.
Yeah, well, and let's skip that one for just a moment because it doesn't really work with my perfect world. So riding crop Wirt's leg, 20% on a mount or 5% when you're walking. Are you getting to the battle faster? Are you running way faster? Like, this is an actual decision. Maybe these shouldn't even be relics. Maybe they should be like sliders in the current talent system from World of Warcraft, where you're either choosing riding speed or movement speed. It's an actual choice, and everyone's having to make the same distinction.
Yeah.
The problem is then, like, compare something that's kind of a choice, kind of like, oh, how interesting, like the Goblin Jumper Cables, and then do Kydarian Amulet. 40% more maximum mana.
That's ridiculous.
I have to screw up or I move faster? Like, of course I'm doing mana. On Diablo, I have crap mana because I'm a warrior. Of course I'm taking a bigger mana pool. I can't think of anyone I would want anything else.
So you had an interesting idea there, Kyle, with like a slider type of situation. I wouldn't mind seeing something where you have maybe 5 or 6 choices, or even less, even just if it's 3, where you have like 3 choices that you make before you enter the battle, of which kind of way I want to go on each of these things. And I go this way or that way, and then when I get in the battle, then I choose my talents, and it's just more customization. And that would feel less bad to me, something along those lines. This is just gating and making other people, one guy better than the other. I would prefer something like that.
And we're seeing it come in the new, World of Warcraft, and how they're kind of taking those notes from Diablo and being like, man, isn't it cool that when you change your meteor into a comet, it does ice damage? Now it looks like that. Like, the actual visual changes are so much more interesting and unique, and I want that represented in this game. So if you're going to go faster on your feet, like, put little wings on my boots or something, but make it interesting.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the concept is fine. I just think the execution right now is lacking.
Yeah.
Right. And again, like, I feel like the second you get in, maybe make it a player level thing if you really just don't want to overwhelm people from the second they put their foot in the door. But otherwise, you need like 1% more health as the maximum. But even then, in the back of your head, you're thinking, well, that one situation where I happen to get away, does that because I spent the gold?
Yeah.
No matter what they...
It will be.
It's that's a really good point. That's when I was first reading about the artifacts, that was my first thought when it's probably not the best example in the world, but like when the second Plants vs. Zombies came out and it had all of these microtransaction bullshit things. And I was losing at games. I was like, well, am I losing because I'm bad, or am I losing because I haven't dropped $40 into this little mobile game?
Right, and it doesn't even matter. Like, I particularly love that game, but I only ever played 2 on a mobile device. So when I saw the ads, they didn't shock me. It wasn't a change of pace.
All right,
And,
no, I enjoy it too. And obviously this is not money. This is just in-game currency, which is just gold, so it's a gold sink. But at the same point, too, I'm going to die against, in a mirror matchup, I'm going to be playing Tyrande. I'm going to die to another Tyrande. And now instead of like just the raw reaction of, okay, that Tyrande outplayed me, I'm going to, in the back of my head, be like, well, maybe she just had better artifacts.
Right, and that's where the problem
I have no idea. I don't know what to learn from that engagement.
Whereas someone comes running at you in a game like Dota, they're decked out, they're looking badass. Oh my god, what a cool skin. You got owned by them, you're just like, what a skill, a mountain of skill that just rode over me.
Right, because everyone's just...
How can I possibly complain?
Everyone has access to the exact same things. There's no gating whatsoever. Well, with the exception of awesome skins. But who cares?
But I do want to say, like, decisions like Goblin Jumper Cables or Riding Crop, like, those are perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, if you look at Trinket Slot and you omit Kaidaran Amulet, I'm like, okay, I think these all kind of equal out.
These are kind of interesting choices that don't really matter, but I can have a personal preference.
Yeah.
I can finally do that sweet Tyrael death build I've always wanted.
Yeah, and on the bright side, maybe these are things that you change as you become a better player. Maybe you're brand new, so you go with the Goblin Jumper Cables because you're getting owned.
Yeah.
As you get better, then maybe, I don't know. Since the amulet exists, it's hard to have this discussion. I'm just like, I would just always choose this.
Exactly.
On every hero. So, I don't know. And
it broke balance. I mean, we haven't mentioned that, but balance is just, it's all over the place now. Illidan's amazing. Anyone with Vala is standing there auto-attacking buildings while they're shooting her in the face because she don't care none. She's making all her health back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I think of a hero that should be a siege hero, it's Vala.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Vala should be pushing lanes all by herself.
Hey, pushing creeps, okay, cool. She should not be soloing towns.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what should be happening there, so... Anyways, that's more or less it. There's, like you said, Kyle, there's some interesting things here that I think could make the game more interesting. I'm so not sold on the concept.
Yeah, I really feel like they're coming up with ways, and really, maybe making a video game is hard. Making art assets is hard. But what we all really want is just skins and customization and random things. And if I want to have Garden of Terror look like a StarCraft map, I want to click a button. He can have it look like a Diablo map. Like, that's the kind of things we want.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to piss anybody off with that kind of stuff. You're definitely going to piss people off when you take giant leaps into this type of crap. So I think, though, I have faith in Blizzard as a company. Some people do not, and it's clear from the forums. But I've been playing Blizzard games long enough, and they've gone back on changes that have not worked out. And I fully believe that they will make the correct call in the end, and we'll get a great game come launch time.
Yeah, I don't think they're ignoring the forums. I don't think they're seeing all of this feedback and doing nothing about it.
You can't get out of that. My main concern is we've seen the StarCraft team who's making this game make decisions that make opinions that they don't really understand how fast gamers kind of get into games, and they feel they have to have these sort of gated things. And I can see them holding on to this hero leveling and maybe even these artifacts for dear life, and just maybe cutting back at them slowly, but not just feeling okay to just omit it because everyone hates it.
I feel like they are just trying out this thing of, well, there's got to be like end game. You've got to play the game long enough to get to this point where then you've got all the stuff, and that's something you've achieved, and you feel special because you've gotten all the stuff. But these games aren't like that, and they shouldn't be like that.
Some aren't. Obviously, League of Legends is. It's the most successful.
Yeah. But League of Legends
is our opinion.
Kind of sucks. So
Our opinion. It's not
Right.
our game. Obviously, Kyle and I are huge Dota snobs.
Mm.
And that's the game we prefer. That's why every time I get an email from someone who's like, this game just seems laggy. It's like, no, there's turn speed. They have turn speed. You can't shoot lightning out of your ass.
it's just not instant, man.
That's fine. You know what? I bet if I played LoL first and then went to Dota, I'd be the same way.
Yeah, no. And I'm not putting down anybody who likes League of Legends. I don't.
Yeah.
Really. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just strange.
But
I personally
I don't want League of Legends in my heroes.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the thing I like the most about MOBAs is that I can just get in with my friends. They don't need to have any type of prerequisite to technically be on the same level. Obviously, there's going to be a skill cap, but I'm fine with that. I want a skill cap in my games. I don't want artificial caps.
Yeah.
Unless I'm playing an MMO.
You got to separate yourself from the leveling up mentality in games like this, because that's really not what it's about. I'll play a lot of this game because each game is different. Each game has its own flow and feel, and I don't play this game because one day I'll be level 40 and I'll have all the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we play RPGs. We want to build our characters.
Yeah,
and this one I just
play WoW and I play Diablo and stuff.
Yeah, this one I want to get in. I want my Tyrande to be the same as the other Tyrande. I want balance. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm interested to dive deeper, buy more artifacts, and really see how much it swings it in my favor. So.
Yeah, once you're really powerful, Garrett's gonna be like, dude, artifacts are amazing. Man. I am so good at this game now.
But I have no way of knowing if the people I'm killing also have artifacts or not. So,
And you can't tell it from the top down. Like, I got 75,000 gold. Like, I bought anything I wanted, basically.
Yeah.
And do I feel overpowered? Well, hell no, I'm having a good time. But, the dude I just slammed his face in, like, he probably feels a little differently.
Yep.
He's not having fun.
Yeah. Well, let's take a couple emails before we end the show. Send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our first email this week comes to us from Mavren. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he writes, new Diablo hero, Cow King, warrior, obviously, with a passive to sometimes proc lightning attacks. Throw in a reference to there being no cow level and an alt costume that's rainbow for the Whimsy Shire, and we are set. That's the end of his email. I'm not kidding you.
Epic email, Maverick.
Yeah, you slow clap.
Make it happen. We have ETC in there. Like, there's clearly no realm they're not willing to dig from. And come on, the cow level, like, just put Ward in himself, stand up when he dies, and just make it great. When you hit him, gold falls out of his butt or something and gives you a speed or something.
Oh, jeez.
He's a hell bovine. I'm in, dude. Let's do this. I didn't play a lot of Diablo 2, but he was just a random thing that was in one little part of the game, right?
You had
the right thing?
Yeah, you had your Herodric Cube, and if you got Wart's Lay, you combined it with another set of items and like a scroll, and they turned into a portal where you would go to a world where there are nothing but giant walking cowmen with giant axes.
I clearly never actually saw this in person, but
Kyle played
amazing.
A lot of Diablo 2.
It was where you went to grind. Like, you'd have one friend, like, come on, everything was level 35 there, and just grind your butt off.
Dills, you want to take the next email?
Sorry, I'm looking up Cow Kings right now. Yes. This is from Kuma. It says, hey guys, I see a good many people online complaining about the concept behind artifacts. I dislike the idea of out-of-game activities affecting in-game attributes. But what would you guys think about artifacts providing account level benefits? More gold from wins, more gold from quests, more experience from wins, etc. Or to get crazy purely cosmetic things like your creeps have an X% chance to be Zerglings, Zealots, Marines, or different kill streak graphics. Yeah.
Can I say the F word followed by yes?
Yeah. This is exactly the kind of stuff they should be doing with artifacts. Hell yeah. This doesn't piss anybody off. It just makes people happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of the various knights and archers turn into little marines or zealots or something.
I wish every battleground was specific to one franchise. I have no interest in this kind of Disneyland army thing. I want a Warcraft map, a Starcraft map, and a Diablo map.
I felt the same way.
In the Nexus, though. So
Right, and I felt the exact same way until Zagar. When I saw her creep all over the place, I was like, ooh, that's really cool looking. And it'd be lame if it was just another space station.
I guess. Well, I don't know.
I mean, granted, it doesn't like wilt the grass or the trees don't fall over like they do in StarCraft, but you know, if eventually we have people like, oh man, what if you had like corrupted Garrosh and like he summons like in that final fight when he's teleporting for location, like he summons locations into the location.
Whoa.
Yo, dog, I heard you like locations.
I know. But there's some really cool stuff you could do, and having that generic map will look really awesome in those moments.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
I don't disagree.
I think it's not out of the question that we'll get some of that kind of stuff eventually. A straight up Diablo dungeon style map,
Yeah.
I definitely think there's room for that. But for now, I'm okay with the way they're going with this kind of mishmash of everything. But I think Kuma's onto something. Let's go with more cosmetic fun stuff. More stuff that just feels like you're having more fun outside the gameplay. I mean, if you're getting more gold from games, that would feel really good, right? And the other guy would never feel bad because you got more gold because he never saw how much gold you got.
Yeah, why not?
Right?
I want a more badass looking kill streak flame. That's what I want.
That's that's a good idea there too. Yeah, I like it.
Give me like green. Kyle, you're talking about green fire. Give me some green fire. I want fell fire, or like molten and like little chunks of rock bits are coming off. Like
Yeah, weather effects, like all sorts. There's lots of things that you could embed and unlock along the way that really is just enjoyable for you, and it doesn't even have to be seen by the other person.
Oh no, I want it seen by the other person.
That's actually, I was wondering about that. Like, would you be upset if your map was entirely themed, or all your warriors were Zerglings, but no one else knew?
That seems like a lot of effort that I don't think Blizzard would ever put in. Like
Maybe.
Like
Blizzard's been known to put in some effort though.
Well, yeah, but like the whole like changing a map for one player thing, that seems strange. I don't know.
I mean, if it was raining, I wouldn't want your rain on my screen if I didn't like it.
True, but I'm just saying, just make another battleground and just have that one be a Warcraft battleground.
Yeah.
By the way, Blizzard, if you're listening, just give us a Wrathy Basin. Don't change it at all. I'll play the crap out of it.
Oh hell yeah.
I agree.
It's already got lanes.
It does. You're damn right. And the middle one's like wonky island craziness.
Yeah, and then you go on the island, you slow down going through the water and all that. Yeah, let's do this.
Man, that'd be great.
They really should. I mean, we don't have a hold the points. We don't have a classic capture the flag yet. There's plenty of places for them to pull from.
I'm not sure capture the flag would work as well in MOBAs.
I think it would be fine, actually. I think you could have a Wrathy Basin where it's actually not trying to kill the other person's base, but where it's actually trying to hold bases. It could totally work. It could
just
change
flip
the whole MOBA thing on its ass.
Get crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
why not?
And no, I would not want to play like capture the flag, like in the classic sense, like flag is on his back. But if there was like, get the pile of gold to your base first, and like standing next to it would make it move, and you would kind of tug of war it back and forth.
Oh, okay, like the Mines Battleground that I don't know the name of because it came after Lich King, and I haven't learned the name of anything.
And no one
so.
cares. No one cares.
Yeah. That one's actually pretty fun, though.
Yeah, I like that Battleground a lot.
Dragging the gold, and then you go really slow, and then you're mad because your whole team is fighting in the middle. What are you doing?
Get on the cart!
Well, here's what really
Pull
happens.
the cart.
First step, everyone gets in vehicles. Next, everyone has fun, right? That's how the equation works.
Oh my god.
Everyone gets in vehicles equals fun.
Let's not do that.
It does if it's winter
Avoid
grass,
that.
which they need to bring back. But other than that,
Yeah.
no.
Or Wintergrass map. Oh, let's
And
do
if you
it.
win
I
the
don't-
battle, you get to go.
Then we
No,
get to
no.
go fight a
Stop.
boss.
Stop. Wintergrass was only cool because it was like 100 people against 100 people. I don't think
Yeah.
5 versus 5 would make Wintergrass.
Yeah, I don't know if
cool.
it'd be the same. But I don't know. You can throw the creeps maybe make it feel that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, I think that'll do it for this episode. Kuma, thank you for your email that made us leave on such a ridiculously high, happy note.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we all just
Oh yeah, the game's not totally crappy right now. It's awesome.
game's still great. Just artifacts, man. Blizzard.
Yeah.
No, if you want my feedback.
Feedback is a negative.
Lame. As always, I want to thank those of you who are leaving us reviews in the iTunes store. If you like our show and you are consuming it through the iTunes player, please go leave us a review. It really, really helps the show out way more than you probably think. Thanks to Lava Surge from Area 52. Thanks to the one and only. And thanks to Ericani. Thank you guys very much for your 5-star reviews. We really appreciate it. As always, Into the Nexus is a production of amove.tv. Bookmark that site to see this, Angry Chicken, Amove Radio, Kristen's Ask Dream Destroyer Heroes of the Storm column, which you can send questions into and possibly have them answered on next week's column. And email us at itncast@gmail.com. The forums over at forum.amove.tv. We record live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/amovetv. Big thanks to alphageekradio.com for providing the mobile stream. And follow us on Twitter at ITNcast. I can be found at Garrett Art. Dills is at Willie Dills. And Kyle is at Kyle Ferguson. Check out BrianGriffithMusic.com for the musician who made our intro music. And you can see my personal graphic design portfolio at NoMoonArt.com. Dills, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instance, which I will be doing tomorrow morning, talking about World of Warcraft. And you can also find me on the Angry Chicken, of course. TortureCast, podcast about San Francisco Giants, who somehow didn't make a trade, even though we're tanking completely. Today was a trade deadline. That was weird. Mediocre Golf Association, going strong. I have a tournament this Sunday, and that is the MGA Championship. And I am donating for every stroke. I'm donating $1 for every stroke I make. I'm trying to get all the other medias to do this too. To a gentleman who is a quadriplegic who wants to play golf, which I think he should be able to do if he so chooses. And I'm sure he's going to be better than some of our medias. But yeah, you can find all the information about that on MGA Tour if you're interested in that, helping out with that. And then, of course, I stream on Twitch periodically. I did last night. It was epic and fun. And I'm hoping to be doing more of that. I think Saturday I'll be doing some, maybe tomorrow night too.
You still stuck in arena, or are you back to the ladder climb?
Well, the ladder climb is I think I'm going to be doing more ladder this season, at least early on. And then if I feel like it's moving at a decent pace, then maybe I'll commit to that. But I don't feel like I ever have enough time in the month to play as many games as it requires you to play to get to Legends. So I don't know. Right now, at this point in my Hearthstone career, don't care enough, I think. But yeah, but Willie Dills SF on Twitch, you can watch me there. I will be doing some. I made decks to beat all the bosses in Nax this last week in the second wing, and I tweeted them out, and a bunch of people responded saying, "Oh my god, that finally I beat that boss!" So I'll probably be doing some more of that with the next wing too, because it seems that people have problems with it, and I like solving those little puzzles. They're fun. So I'll be doing some more of that too.
Sweet. Kyle, how about you? Where can people find you when you're not doing Into the Nexus?
You can find everything I do over at amove.tv, and you should check out my solo cast of my experience at the International 4. During this break since the last show, I went to the International Dota Finals, and it was a blast. Check out my reactions there on the website.
Awesome. Go see it. It's still on the main page, and yeah, it's easy to find. Go check it out. Please check out our sponsors as well. Our sponsors are DoghouseSystems.com and TweakedAudio.com. The code to use is ITN, and that'll get you double memory on your next Doghouse rig over at DoghouseSystems.com, as well as 30% off and free shipping off of your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from TweakedAudio.com, and we thank them for their support. We thank you guys for listening, and until then, prepare for battle.
Screw artifacts?
It's not an encouraging battle cry, but it's effective. It gets our point across.
Screw artifacts.
Yeah, that's still trying to figure out the sign off for this show. But
I think prepare for battle works. But,
all right.
but
I think that's what you say at the beginning, though, don't you?
Yeah, but there's really no out. We could just
at the end, you're like, you finally kill the core, and you're like, prepare for battle.
GG, well played.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we're done with the show, so we're gonna go play some games. So we're
sure.
Until next time, gather my tributes and earn my favor.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's pretty good, actually.
There you go. All right,
I gotta go get some food.
Cool.
But are you guys gonna play some Heroes? Because I'm not sure how long that's gonna take me.
Maybe if we are, we'll be on when you get back.
Okay. Well,